Good evening everybody, it's Charlie and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone's doing alright today. As always, we are back with the upcoming matchday content as we begin tonight with predicted 11. Obviously it was Jesse Marsch's press conference earlier on this afternoon, so we're basically just going to have a little chat about that, and then I will give who I think the lineup will be against Arsenal at Ellen Road on Sunday. So just before we get into it, smash that like button, please subscribe if you're new to the channel as well, and share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. So yeah, as I said, Marsch had his press conference earlier where he gave obviously his team news ahead of the weekend's game. So basically Firpo is back fit, however Pascal will still be playing at left back due to him performing at a high level, which were the words that Marsch used, which, look, my preferred centre-back partnership, as we all know, is Koch and Strauch. But it is hard to disagree with Jesse. I do think Pascal is performing very well at left-back so far this season. However, long-term, that is just not the thing that I want to be seeing. The fact that we have actually got an out-and-out left-back in Junior Firpo, regardless of your opinions on him, whether you think he's good, whether you think he's not. But still, he's a proper left-back, and he's choosing to play centre-back there instead. I think that's very telling, when he's actually said that Firpo is categorically fit, but he will be on the bench. We'll probably see him at some point when Arsenal have scored a few goals and we have to go maybe to a 5 at the back or something like that. I don't know, but I just think that's very telling. He did mention Bamford as well, saying that he was giving him today off so that he could be okay for Sunday, which again, the fact that we're having to give this guy a day off so that he's alright for Sunday, obviously the pro of doing that is that he's more sharp and more fit, but the con is also to do with the fitness, is that it could go the other way, where because he's not trained for the same amount of time as the rest of the players, is he going to be up to speed? I just think I'm not at the point where I'm saying that Bamford is finished and that he's done. I do think with Bamford in the side, Leeds look a lot better in terms of the pressing unit and just his link-up play and how he brings others in. But I think there's only so many games that he'll be able to get away with the excuse of that he's just coming back. I think in 2 or 3 games' time, if he hasn't scored or assisted or even put up a very good performance, then I'll probably be on that bandwagon of that he is done. I think people are blinded sometimes with that first season in the Premier League, which was a bit of an anomaly, where he scored 17 goals. The guy played about 5 games last season and scored 2 goals. The games that he's played in so far this season, he's looked okay, but he's nowhere near the Bamford that we saw in that first season, which is a massive worry considering the board didn't buy a striker in January. But we're not going down that rabbit hole on this video. I'm just reacting to what Jesse Marsch has said. Obviously, I think Dallas is obviously still injured. Forshaw is as well. And I believe Archie Gray is as well, but obviously he's not a permanent first team member at the minute. Now, moving on to my predicted 11 for this game. I think there's only going to be maybe one change. And I'm going to go with Meslier in goal, of course. There's no other goalkeeper that we've got who could even be in contention. It's obviously Meslier. I think against Palace, he wasn't at fault for any of the goals that Palace scored. It was, really crap defending from a certain individual. But yeah, it'll be Meslier in goal. Of course it will. Right back will be Rasmus, who I thought had his best game for Leeds United at Crystal Palace last week. I thought he handled Zaha really well. However, this week he is going to have, Gabriel Martinelli. Come on. That guy's on some serious form so far. I think it's going to take a big performance to stop Martinelli, because he's some baller. Centre-back partnership will be Koch and Cooper once again, I believe. I think Robin Koch has been really good so far this season, with the exception of the Brentford game. I think Cooper, super duper Liam Cooper, God. I'm almost dreading him coming up against this Arsenal side. He's going to have Jesus to mark, which last time he came up against Jesus, I believe, was when he got sent off at the Etihad and he went through him. So let's hope he doesn't do that again. Obviously, I'm assuming Jesus will target a side of the pitch that he'll favour. He'll probably favour Cooper's side, if I'm honest, because I do think Koch and Christensen are the strongest side. Because obviously Pascal is going to play left back, as we alluded to at the beginning of the video. And even though he has been really good as a left back in terms of getting forward and stuff, he's not quite there. Hopefully, though, the defensive aspect will come up good for him, because he'll be coming up against Bukayo Saka. Again, another really top baller in that Arsenal team. So yeah, hopefully the fact that he's naturally a centre-back and he's defensive-minded will be able to cope fairly well with Saka, hopefully. The double pivot will once again be Mark Rocker and Tyler Adams. Enough said there, really. I thought it wasn't a great game from them against Crystal Palace, but it wasn't bad either. I just think it was a bit of a average performance, especially as the game kind of tailed off in the second half. But yeah, obviously they'll have the task of trying to cope with Xhaka, Thomas Partey, and probably Odegaard in that 10 as well. So yeah, a big test for them, but they came through it against Chelsea, and yeah, well, Arsenal are in much better form than what Chelsea were at that time. So, hopefully they can cope, but I'll be honest, guys. It's a game that I don't know if I'm looking forward to, if I'm honest. But yeah, the three in behind the striker. Then this is where I think we may see a little bit of a change up. I think we'll go back to how we started against Villa, and I think Jack Harrison will assume the right, Sinisterra on the left, Aronson in the 10, and Rodrigo up front. I think. Look, saying that, the fact that he's given Bamford a day off, so that he's alright for Sunday, will probably allude to the fact that he's probably going to start him. He might start Sinisterra on the bench, maybe bring him on as an impact player. For me, Sinisterra's back from suspension, I would be starting him, if I'm being honest with you. I don't know who I would rather have than Bamford and Rodrigo at the minute. Because Bamford last week looked so rusty. That chance that he misses at 1-0, which that could have completely changed the outcome of the game. If he hits that with his right foot, it goes in. I've said it a few times and I stand by that. But I don't know who would work better against that Arsenal back four, because you're probably going to be seeing Ben White at right back, Gabriel and Saliba in the centre-back roles, and then at left-back you're probably going to see either Tomiyasu or Zinchenko. Who's going to be the one that can get in behind that back four? You'd probably say Rodrigo, just because he's a bit quicker, but then Bamford's link-up play and hold-up play is so good as well. So it'll be interesting to see who he goes with. My feeling at the minute is that he will go with Rodrigo for some strange reason. I know that kind of contradicts the whole Bamford thing, but it really wouldn't surprise me. I think the only change that I could see is that Sinisterra may start on the bench, and we might start with Aronson on the right and Harrison on the left, because that did work last week for 25 minutes. I just hope this week we see a more consistent performance. But obviously my preview in detail is going to be out tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to release it at about 2 o'clock, guys. So make sure that you tune in for that. But yeah, this is just one of them games, isn't it, where, God, I don't even know how to feel about it. Hopefully I'll know for when I do my match preview. So then, that brings us to the end of the Predicted 11 video for this week's game against Arsenal. Hit that like button. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. Share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. As I said, the preview is going to be out tomorrow at about 2 o'clock. I'll be back with a review on Sunday after the game as well. And I'll be doing a match day vlog. First one of the season. I thought I'd bring them back. The people seem to enjoy them last season, so I thought I'd bring that back as well. And there'll be player ratings, all that jazz. A lot of match day content on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel, so keep it locked and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.